It's my great honour to be here with you as His Majesty's senior representative to the southeastern United States. Her late Majesty the Queen was a global monarch for millions around the world. As we have just seen, the diverse representation of guests at the funeral reflects this. From countries in the Pacific Islands 9,000 miles away, to Chile, the southernmost point in South America, heads of governments, royals, and ambassadors from around the globe have come together to pay their final respects. We've been deeply moved by the affection shown for the Queen from all corners of the world. The royal family have said what comfort this brought them. It's also moving to see the thoughtful tributes offered from across this country. The Queen was a great admirer of and friend to America, and she often spoke about the common heritage and values that we share, especially on freedom and democracy. During her lifetime, she met 13 US presidents and visited a great many places across the United States. Throughout her 70-year reign, the longest that Britain has seen, the Queen embodied the British spirit of public service. She was there for the nation throughout good times and bad. We will miss her deeply. The Queen is succeeded by her son, His Majesty King Charles. It is fitting, therefore, that we are gathered here this morning at the World Athletes Monument, as this was a gift from His Majesty, then Prince of Wales, and dedicated to the 1996 Summer Olympics here in Atlanta. In 1977, His Majesty spoke at the Georgia General Assembly during a visit to Atlanta and attended an all-important UGA football game. Being here this morning at this monument is a reminder of the royal connections to this wonderful city and state. I would like to thank the National Monuments Foundation, Midtown Business Alliance, and Fulton County for organising this morning's proceedings. This gesture and the many tributes left at this monument show the deep affection that Atlantans and Georgians have for our royal family. Thank you so much. God save the King.
All right, good morning, Madam Consul General, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's really fitting and proper that we're on this site today, as has been referenced, and in front of this monument for what it means to our city, our county, and the state of Georgia. Good morning again, and thank you for taking part in this historic ceremony that I am very and deeply honored to be a part of. The death of Queen Elizabeth II marks the end of an era in our world's history. Like millions everywhere, and even this morning, we've all been glued to our television sets, watching as crowds lined up to pay their respects. It has been awe-inspiring. Clearly, she was loved and respected worldwide. As I close my brief remarks, I'd like to share one of the Queen's most famous quotes. Grief is the price we pay for love. And so today, we do grieve. And that is because we truly love Queen Elizabeth, each in our own way. And we're thankful for her contributions to the world. And to King Charles, all the best to him in the days, weeks, months, and years to come. And may he be as successful as his beloved mom. Thank you.
Consul General Galloway, Bishop Johnson, Commissioner Pitts, Judge Portis, ladies and gentlemen, we gather today to mourn a lady for the ages, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Even the young people gathered here today will be able to tell their children and grandchildren that they were privileged to have lived at the same time as this great lady. May not be apparent to many, but the death of a figure whose very passing stops the world for reflection and pathos, if only for 10 days, is an extraordinary thing. Human beings yearn for basic goodness, humility, decency, honesty, and in this extraordinary case, majesty, yet a monarch who could fix a broken down truck. Her example to her kingdom and the world was always duty, hard work, and the love of her people. And she never stopped, having a working session advising the new Prime Minister at her beloved Balmoral 2 days before she died. She deftly guided an empire to a commonwealth with grace, dignity, and a bit of wry humor, for which she was very famous. And do not let those who attempt to tear down and criticize win in this case. Elizabeth II is a heroine of our time, a person of many virtues who should be admired and emulated. As time passes and her extraordinary legacy is studied, she will likely rise to the status of few leaders or monarchs, Elizabeth the Great. And she gives us King Charles III, the most visionary and prepared king in all of British history, a conservationist and urban planner, long before it was cool. He has been hard-working for these decades, leading up to this new duty. He even gave the people of Georgia the great monument that rises behind me, and was hands-on overseeing its design at his Institute of Architecture. We stand here on British soil. His UK architecture team designed the Millennium Gate, and he suggested to Mayor Reed that Cook Peace Park in Vine City be rebuilt. It opened last year. Had the city been wise enough to approve his Prince's Foundation plan at Fort McPherson, we would have a fourth major work influenced by King Charles III. All this for us, and we are not even British. He will be one of the greatest kings England and the world has ever seen, and how could he not be, having such an astonishing example to follow? In this day and time, when we are fractured, angry, unable to just be polite to those who disagree with us, I read the words of Elizabeth the Great, who rose above politics, above confrontation, the loving, dutiful glue, always holding her nation together, calming her nation and us all at the peak of the COVID pandemic. I quote her, "Today, once again, many will feel a sense of separation from their loved ones. This time we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavor, using the great advances of science and our instinctive compassion to heal. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again." I repeat His Majesty quoting Shakespeare in his address to his nation and to his mother, "May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest." God save the King.
Good evening, Sir Bond.
Good evening, Your Majesty.
spectacle awaits.
Perhaps you would like a marmalade sandwich. I always keep one for emergencies.
So do I. I keep mine in here.
Oh.
For later.
The party is about to start, Your Majesty.
Happy Jubilee, ma'am. And thank you for everything.
That's very kind.